Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for the budget? I understand this may ultimately come down to a philosophical difference in budgeting priorities. However, as I've raised previously, I believe the city should have use a greater percentage of the available surplus to reduce the tax increase imposed on residents, particularly in a year when taxpayers are facing an increase of more than 6 cents and a $75 or 10% increase in water and sewer flat rates. Residents are already dealing with rising costs for food, gasoline, utilities, medical expenses, and other necessities. Many are under significant financial pressure and could benefit from additional relief. A substantial portion of this surplus exists because certain 2025 budget accounts were funded above actual expenditures. In many respects, this is taxpayer money that has already been collected. I believe the current budget utilizes 50.8% of the budget or of the available surplus. Does that sound about right?
The budget is using 4,620,000 of 9,078,000. So it's slightly more than 50%.
Okay. I would suggest that increasing that figure to 56.8%. It would still remain below the 59% that you used last year, while gaining an additional $544,772 in revenue. That adjustment could reduce the tax increase by almost 2.5 cents, which would represent approximately a 40% reduction in the proposed increase. Even with that additional use of surplus, the city will still maintain an estimate surplus balance of approximately $3.9 million, which remains well above the $3.1 million balance carried into the 2025 budget. For comparison purposes, Margate reportedly, what I could see, utilized approximately 64% of its surplus while still maintaining a remaining balance of more than $3 million. My recommendation would provide meaningful relief to taxpayers without jeopardizing the city's financial stability, and I respectfully ask the governing body to consider it. I would like to also commend the CFO for increasing interest earnings on investments and deposits to approximately $932,000. Whether this was primarily market-driven or a result of a more aggressive investment strategy, this dollar amount seems in line with other municipalities. Question, does the city engage any company to provide cash management flow advice?
We use the New Jersey Cash Management, NJ Arm.
Knowing the city must track your expenditures and revenues throughout the year, this significant tax increase should not have come as a surprise. Based on that is my opinion that the city should have moved quicker earlier this year to sell the 2 Ventnor Avenue properties at the beginning of this year rather than wait until now. Had these properties been marketed and sold earlier, the proceeds could have been used to offset this year's tax increase by another 1.3 cents and reduce the economic burden now being placed on taxpayers.
I'll touch base on that if I can, Tim.
Sure.
We tried to sell these properties twice now.
Twice.
This year?
No.
Within the last 3 years, we've tried to sell these properties twice,
I understand.
and we've gotten no bids on them.
I agree. I
So
understand.
we reappraised them, lowered that appraised value a little bit, and we're trying again.
I just wish you would have done it earlier in the year.
I wish I would have sold them 2 years ago.
I wish you would have too, but you didn't. And so it's my suggestion that wish you would have acted quicker to put them on the market.
I can wish it didn't rain last weekend for Memorial Day. So
We don't keep
A
moving.
lot of wishes here and a lot of wishes
there is a lot
on
of
the
wishes.
taxpayers. That being said, I'm sorry, do I amuse you? As the guy, not the Godfather, what was it? Goodfellas, do I amuse you or? Okay, well. Yeah, I can tell you the residents paying 6 cents tax increase and 10% increase in property or in water and sewer rates are not laughing. At least I don't think they are. What do I know? So if they were sold earlier, if it was combined with my earlier suggestions to use a larger portion of the surplus, the revenue from these property sales could have potentially reduced this increase to approximately 2.2 cents. That level of increase would have been more consistent with surrounding communities and significantly more manageable for residents than the current 6 cent increase being proposed and the 10% increase in water and sewer. While selling the property later in 2026 may certainly improve the city's financial position for 2027, many residents need tax relief now. That raises a fair question: why was improving next year's budget picture prioritized over reducing the financial impact on taxpayers this year? The city budget is $410,000 under a classification utility fund expense allocation. My understanding that this is money that the water and sewer utility pays back to the city for expenses that are initially charged to the city from the general budget. Is this accurate?
Yes, that is what the money's for.
How does that $410,000 determine?
By, let's just take the example of the tax office downstairs. They handle both the water and sewer collections and the tax collections. Even though the numbers are bigger in the tax side of it, the number of transactions are equal. So approximately 50% of each gets allocated to make up that 410,000.
So
In her department, you have purchase orders,
governor officials, Mr. Chickarone,
everything.
they all, so that
410.
that figure goes into that 410,000. I looked at the water and sewer utility budget. I do not see any expense for health, for benefits or for pension contributions.
It's another expense.
Are they attributed to the budget, to the general budget?
It's in the utility other expenses.
Other expenses?
Yeah, it's not separated.
All right, thank you. So leaving that out, that the city could have, with a greater use of the surplus and putting the properties up for sale, could have reduced the tax increase on the public. Well, I can see that I'm well over my 3 minutes.
Please
So the
continue.
rest that I have to say, I'll leave for another time in another forum. So thank you for letting me exceed my 3 minutes. And thank you.
Thank you for your comments.